Start our tour of Strasbourg in a smaller river cruise boat that has a clear dome top for looking out on the canal side of the old parts of Strasbourg. We disembark downtown and have a look in the old city area of the timber frame houses and see the astronomical clock inside the Cathedral of Notre Dame and the frescoes on the wall. Stepping outside, we're in the city market to have a look again at the older structures, then back on board Freya for a sunset departure upriver and into the canal system. We're going to pass through one of the locks shortly. We start our tour of downtown Strasbourg in the river cruise boat. That's St. Paul's Reformed Cathedral receding in the background. Lovely views along the river canal. This is one of the newer areas of Strasbourg, about the 1900s or so. A lot of government officials live in here. That's because Strasbourg has a European Parliament building. One of the other canal boats, perhaps we should have taken this one. That would have been a more funky tour for us. Continue on with the older buildings in Strasbourg. Strasbourg and Alsace are wonderful places to have family origins, and that's where my family line starts. 10 generations of the Weber family line, starting in Alsace and threading its way to Canada. Starting with Jacob Weber, we then have Michael Weber in the 1600s, Jean-Jacques Weber, a Jean-Georges Weber, a George Weber followed by another George Weber, 1801 to 1852. He was killed by poachers in 1852. His spouse was also killed by poachers a few years later on. Then we have Joseph Weber, 1840 to 1907. He emigrated from Alsace to Canada in the 1880s after having fought in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870. Raised a family first in Quebec and then in Ontario. His son, Emile Joseph, nicknamed Russie Weber, born in 1879, unknown death date. He migrated to Manitoba, where he met up with my grandmother, Sadie Atchison. The last name of Weber, he was having difficulty in finding work as a contract painter in the 1920s in Canada. So my grandmother, being a very practical woman that she was, she said, no problem at all. We'll add an extra B into the Weber, and now we are English. My mother, Winifred Winnie Weber, 1911 to 2003, she migrated with the family from Winnipeg to Calgary. And that's where I was born in 1944. And this is why you should take the canal boat tour of Strasbourg. Just drifting down the canal around the city, passing through the older areas, seeing the timber-framed buildings with the overhangs and the balconies, the flowered pots on the handrails and up on the balconies. It's a great city to just relax in the boat and cruise along. You see some other people that are enjoying the canal. You see some tourists like us looking out over the overhang along the canal, watching the boat traffic go to and fro. They're a friendly bunch, waving back at us. It's not so calm all the way along the canal. There's a part that's the river that you can see gushing through the overpass. I'm glad we're not in that torrent. We would be tossed and turned every which way. But this is the main reason I'm enjoying downtown Strasbourg. The Notre Dame Cathedral of Strasbourg is a magnificent edifice, stone carvings all the way up. Wonderful detail. It only has one spire. I understand they didn't get around to building the other one. The Strasbourg Astronomical Clock. The first clock was built in the 14th century. There was a second clock built in the 16th century, and the final clock, the third clock, was built between 1838 and 1843. The master clockmaker and 30 workers worked on it for 5 years. It was finally inaugurated on New Year's Eve, 1842. As tall as a six-story building, it's nearly 60 feet high. It displays the official time, solar time, day, week, month, and year, the zodiacal signs, the moon phase, and also the positions of the planets as known at that time. It also calculates leap years, equinoxes, summer and winter, plus Easter per the complicated Gregorian calendar. It also includes automata or moving figures, angels who ring a bell and tip the sands of time, and characters representing the ages of man presenting themselves before death.
Mesdames, Messieurs, merci.
We step outside the cathedral and step back into the city square. We have a merry-go-round for the children. As far as I know, it's free of charge. They climb on board and get to enjoy various rides going around and around. It's been a beautiful day. We're back on our cruise ship Freya, continuing our journey upriver on the Rhine River, and we're encountering our first lock during the day. You can see in the distance, on the right-hand side of the river is a dam. We're not going to go through that. Rather, on the left side is a lock system. and it is open and waiting for us to enter. We have 2 green lights. We're clear to enter. The gate is open. You can see it's raised. This is a drop-down gate, otherwise known as a guillotine gate, opening the lock area for our entry now. We're trusting that the guillotine gate does not close prematurely on us. We are now all the way in, and the guillotine gate has dropped behind us. The lock is now starting to fill. Speeded up version, you can see that we are rising, and you can tell by the wetness on the side of the walls just how high we have yet to go. We now start to see over the far end. We now have horizontal gates that will swing open for us. Swinging open, they open up our pathway going further upriver on the Rhine. All right, we now have 2 green. We can proceed forward. Getting underway, we have raised up about almost 100 feet.
Let's see, get it up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, oh, oh. Oh.